Ask Reddit thread. What do you get sick of explaining to people? Just because an opinion is popular doesn't make it necessarily correct. You can see this kind of thing all the time here. I really like it when there are a lot of really knowledgeable people hiding about everywhere here, and a lot of them are very willing to explain something that a lot of people don't know about. However, I have seen completely wrong information get upvoted simply because whoever said it with conviction and nobody knew any better. Same goes the other way. The unpopular opinions gets ganged up and downvoted real low, but that doesn't change the facts about something. This reminds me of the r/let's play subreddit. I frequent there sometimes. Anytime I try to give advice, it just gets downvoted. And when people tell the same things over and over, because I have like this huge circle jerk on how to grow a successful YouTube channel, that they just don't want to hear contradicting opinions. It's like, sure, you can listen to the guy who has 100 subscribers after a year, or you listen to the person who does YouTube for a living, but you know, whatever. Upvote the circle jerk, it's cool. Kind of reminds me of the scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Charlie says something about the trash being burned and the smoke goes into the sky and turns into stars. Then Max says, that doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough about stars to dispute it. I always like that scene. Whenever someone says something that doesn't sound right, I pretty much say that verbatim. The customer is always right means that a business owner who ignores the concerns of the customer loses customers. No, Frank, it does not mean because you have last week's flyer that the ice cream is still half price. I used to work at a retail job. They'd say that all the time. What he says, the customer is always right. What I hear, I'm trying to rip you off. Yep, it's good business to disqualify bad customers, clients, / accounts. This saying should really be the market is always right. The fact that I write code for a living doesn't mean I know how to troubleshoot your network printer problems. This kills me. I do a bunch of statistical analysis that leads to knowing much more about hardware is needed to support network traffic. My mom's been telling people for a decade that I'm in IT and I can fix stuff like their printer. I can fix stuff like that because I have been a PC hobbyist since my teen years and know how to Google, but I am not IT. That always reminds me, my job is basically done from my computer. So, my extended family thinks I know about computers. And if they say that I'm good with computers, I always make it a point to say, no, I know about just as much computers as you do. What I do is video editing. It has nothing to do with the hardware that has to do with the computer. I make it a point to dispel their illusions of my computer literacy because I don't want to have to fix their computers if they ever have problems. Because that sounds like a huge pain in the ass. And they've never asked because I make it a point to tell them, no, I'm not going to. Well, I mean, I don't say I'm not going to. I just tell them that I'm super ignorant about those kinds of stuff. I'm a database developer focused around governments, and I still get harassed to remove malware from people's PCs constantly. I charge $75 an hour. Nobody asks me anymore. And even if you do know, odds are you really don't fucking want to. That's the thing. I probably could fix their problems, but I don't want to. That I'm not faking my colorblindness. Just because I know your shirt is red does not mean I'm not colorblind, you ignorant buffoon. Is that something people do? There's a t-shirt I saw online once. It says, I says heart colorblind people. But the pattern of the color inside the heart spells out fucking hate if you have the right kind of colorblindness. That a scientific theory is not the same as a detective show theory. In theory, Spirit Breaker has a 70% chance to bash. In reality, the chance is 100%. Thanks, OS Frog. Sacred Crow Stun lasts theoretically up to 5 seconds. But we know it actually lasts an average of 15 days. That the tryptophan in turkey is not the reason for Thanksgiving fatigue. What? Is it just because you're eating a whole bunch of food? That no, shaving does not bring back thicker, darker hairs. It's just an illusion. They're illusions, Dad. You don't have time for my illusions. How to pronounce my last name. It's 17 letters long. Oh my god, that is a really unique last name. How do you pronounce it? Wow, I don't even going to try. You must have had a hard time in elementary school. Lol. Yeah, can I please buy my alcohol now? Oh, that'd be a pain in the ass. How the job hunt is going. Christ, if I got a job, don't you think I would tell you? Also, I'm sick and tired of explaining that just because I am not physically walking into different offices doesn't mean I'm not actively applying every day. And if I hear someone tell me all I need to do is network one more time, I will literally lose it. Just go out to network. Oh my god, yes. I'm obviously going through a hideous time and I'm trying my hardest. Why would you keep bringing it up? Let's see. I need some time alone every once in a while. Quit asking why. Why? Because the more time I spend with people, the more I remember that I don't like them. The more I spend away from people, the more I realize that humans are social creatures and start to go a little crazy when we don't interact with others. It's a delicate balance and you're upsetting it. Now let me jerk off in peace. Is it masturbation? It's probably masturbation. There is a time and place for your opinions about politics. Work isn't one of those places, and now is not the time. But I bet I'll change your mind with a Facebook post from an unreliable source / slanted source. Working in a hospital, my patients try to talk politics all the damn time. It's so inappropriate. They also tend to assume I agree with them, even though I'm 50 years younger than they are and have said nothing to align myself with their worldview. Finish your course of antibiotics, and if there's any left over, throw them away. Don't hoard them for the next time you're sick. You're contributing to the antibiotic resistance. Edit. To clarify, the only time you might have antibiotics left is if you got a liquid antibiotics, e.g. for a child. And yes, don't throw pills away ever. Bring them back to the pharmacy. If you keep leftover antibiotics and use them later, firstly, they might not even be effective because you might have had a virus or a different kind of infection. You're not a doctor, you don't know when antibiotics are and aren't indicated. Someone below mentioned taking antibiotics for the flu. That's a virus. Antibiotics don't work against viruses. Secondly, antibiotics are only effective if you take the full course. Otherwise, you won't wipe out all the bacteria. And the bacteria left behind might develop resistances because the dose was too small to kill them, but large enough for them to be exposed to it to potentially adapt. Wow. I don't think I've ever taken antibiotics, though. I work in IT, and I get sick of explaining how to Google error codes. Stop giving away our secrets. If they start Googling the problems themselves, then what will they need us for? Doing a shitload of sit-ups doesn't mean you'll get a six-pack and get rid of the beer belly. You need a better diet and some form of cardio to burn off the calories. Oh, that's right. There's a whole bunch of people who believe that. Abs are made in the kitchen. Spot reduction is a myth. The best exercise to lose weight is fork put-downs. Dr. Oz has done more damage to the nation's health than McDonald's. So burritos are still okay. Yeah. If you want to lose weight, diet is like 90% of what you need to do. Exercising does help, but diet is like 10 times more important. Just eat real food. Oh, I guess I should also mention, like, if you're training for a marathon, then yeah, you can probably eat whatever you want. But if you're working out for like less than 4 hours a day, it's all about diet. Just eat real food. No, not the lean cuisine sweet and sour chicken. No, not the instant rice box. Not Cliff Bars. No, you don't have to do a cleanse. No, you don't have to do the apple cider vinegar shot. Just buy some raw chicken or some beef. Learn how to cook simple recipes with some veggies. You'll be fine. You can't tell me what to do. There's also like a fuck ton of food you don't even have to cook. It's amazing. You just buy it, wash it, and put it in your face. Go on. Like raw chicken, a quick rinse and it's ready to eat. Said with conviction, must be true. That Congress passes laws, not the president. Don't like the Healthcare Act? Not Obama. Congress passed the law. Some people need to go rewatch the Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a bill. Executive order does not equal a law. Same with presidential promises. I promise to legalize blank. That's a congressional function. I think blank should be overturned. That's a Supreme Court function. Now, if the president candidate promises to say take on Scientology or direct the administration to begin trade talks with a foreign country, that's a legitimate promise. How fans work. No, it's not shooting cold at you. Okay, alright, I gotta ask. Why do some people have asking you how fans work? I'm Mexican, but I don't speak Spanish. This comes up almost weekly with strangers and friends alike. You know, I'm half Mexican, but this has only ever come up like once in my life. I guess I don't look that ethnic. And that was only because it was like I was in 6th grade at a new school and I didn't talk to anybody, so they just assumed I spoke Spanish. Humans did not develop from today's apes, but from a common ancestors we share with apes. I didn't come from no monkey, and that's not like it's a ladder, but a branching tree. How I got in their apartment, I mean, is that really your biggest concern right now? Who are you and how'd you get in my apartment? I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith. Well, I'm planning to kill you in self-defense in a minute, so this might be my only chance to figure out where my security lapsed. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, sort of, but not really when you're blocking the only way out of your house after you've lit it on fire. That the United States Postal Service doesn't use taxpayer money for anything in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, my wife worked for USPS and had to tell people this all the time. Their salaries are not funded by taxpayers, it's private. Sorry, but I think I might need an explanation. USPS earns the money it uses. Check out number 1. I remember when the healthcare debate was firing up, a friend had a flyer that said, do you want healthcare run by the people that run the post office? I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the post office? They do good work and it costs you virtually nothing. I never understood the crap that the USPS takes. I can get something sent 3,000 miles and put in a specific box in 4 days, all for 50 cents. That's ridiculous. I remember when I used to sell stuff on eBay all the time. Post office was a very convenient and fast way to send stuff. I was surprised. I thought I'd have to deal with FedEx or something. Wait, really? Since when? That when you lose a game, you don't lose it. Loose it? That when you lose a game, you don't loose it? Okay. That being a hypocrite doesn't necessarily make something wrong. Or that people can change their minds about things without necessarily being hypocrites. I smoke and still tell the people not to start. It's gross, but they just taste so good. But no one should start. That wouldn't necessarily be hypocrisy. I think it'd be hypocritical to criticize other people who can't / don't / won't quit while you still smoke. Preventing people from starting is just recognizing that it's a bad and trying to keep people off the sinking boat. Panic attacks because the response I get is don't worry. Well, I never thought I'd say that. Do you have advice on what actions / words do help when comforting someone having a panic attack? I'm sure it's different for everyone. I have several family members that try to help me. My wife and mother make them worse, while my father and son can calm me right down. The main thing for me is distraction. Make me think about something else. Usually that is a simple asking questions and making me talk. My wife and mother ask me about stressful things. My son gets me talking about video games and movies. I want someone to rub my back and speak to me in a gentle, motherly way. ASMR videos help me a lot, so that may be a good place to look for ideas. Basically get my mind off the dark downward spiral / loop it is stuck on. Ask them to explain some complicated aspects of their favorite hobby, passion, or interest. I'm not sure if it's fact or bullcrap, and I'm happy in my ignorance, but one ASMR video mentioned that panic attacks usually don't last more than 15 minutes. Hearing that woman say that reminded me that it will eventually go away helps. I need to remember that this has happened before and I survived. Stop looking at the blackness around me and look ahead, at the light at the end of the tunnel. It seems far away, but it is there, and I will reach it shortly. Just hold my hand and keep me holding in that direction. I think I started saying holding and then I read it as looking at the same time. I haven't made one of these videos in a while. Oh man. Not that I was ever good at making these videos in the first place. I always fumble over my words. Alright, so I had an illness that I'm still not fully recovered from, and may never be. It's difficile, and if I eat the wrong thing, I'm a hurting unit. It's been 4 months now into the 5th month, and my stomach is fucked up. Yes, I go to the doctor and I'm working on it. No, I don't want to hear all your hemopathetic BS or theories. Yes, I know all about fecal implants. Right now, though, it's hard to commit to events. I'm a freelance reporter and do other jobs. When all of a sudden my stomach is seized up and I want to puke, or suddenly onset need to poop. Do I take the pill that gives me a headache and uneasiness, the stomach, and makes me dizzy, or just take the Prilosc or nothing pain? Even the doctor's not having fun with this. I'm sick of being sick. Okay, that was a lot of... just because I work with computers doesn't mean I know how to fix your computer, or that I want to spend fucking hours doing so. You said it, bro. Why I live a sober life. It's apparently against the status quo to not be a social drinker. Oh, that's true. I don't drink either. In social situations, I've never been pressured to drink until it was obvious that I don't drink. Then I have beers offered from every direction. Excuse me for knowing I have an addictive personality and wanting to avoid alcoholism. Now I just hang out with myself. You know, if I had friends and hung out more often, this might be a concern, but it's not. I know a guy who also doesn't drink, and he walks around with a virgin drink in his hand, so people stop asking, because it's not something that is exactly a bar/party talk in the first place. It's totally opposite for me. I play in a band, and I constantly being peer pressured to take shots and stuff because I do drink. The sober guy in the band never has to deal with that kind of peer pressure because we totally respect his sobriety. Oh, well, I guess it's because he was an alcoholic before, and they... Usually if you were an alcoholic before and you stop drinking, they'll leave you alone. But, I mean, if you've never drunk in the first place, then they'll be like, why not? You're missing out on life. It's like, no. I have a history of family with alcoholic tendencies, and I know for a fact I have an addictive personality, so I'm not going to tempt myself. Oh, look. I think my sister has started vacuuming downstairs. This is great. You see, my sister is home because she is due any day now for her baby. So my nephew's here as well, and he's loud as fuck. That's why I've been making these videos as often, because there's been lots of noise in the house. And then once the baby is born, there's going to be crying, so... If you're wondering why there's infrequent release of my Askreddit videos, it's because of that.